So you want to put an Asian in the American media. Well, there's a few strategies you might want to pursue. First off, are you sure? Maybe you better do what chain restaurant Charlie's Grilled Subs did and have some white guy play Charlie, your founder, on the company website, even if the real Charlie is Korean. Because face it, Asians aren't normal. It's like this Starburst commercial says.
One contradiction eating another!
Huh?
You're Scotch-Korean, and Starburst is a solid, yet juicy like a liquid!
An Asian in the West is a contradiction. Even if they walk the walk and talk the talk, Asians can never be anything but Asian, right? They're different. And what makes them different? Well, for one thing, Maybelline tells us some people have downturned eyes, or hooded, prominent, wide-set, or almond-shaped eyes. Asians, however, all have slanty Asian eyes. All of them. Miley Cyrus knows what I'm talking about, and so does Joe Jonas. It's not just the eyes, either. Head down to a Halloween store right next to the vampires and skeletons. You might see the Asian costumes, because, being Asian is just like being a vampire or a skeleton. And have you heard about English? Man, that stuff is wacky, right? It was even in the New York Times. Those Asians just cannot speak English. They're just probably the only people bad at translating languages. Never mind this guy wearing a shirt that says testicle, this woman's tattoo that says, or crazy diarrhea, this little girl's shirt that says, I'm a pervert, or the fact that half the Japanese in Kanye's video is gibberish. Never mind that. Only Asians are bad at other languages. English. So, now that you realize how different Asians are, you still want to put an Asian in the media? Alright, but you better make them real different. Like, every time an Asian makes an entrance, there needs to be some kind of sonic warning. Like a gong. Or that classic riff.
Hot stuff?
As useful in 1935 as it was in 2009. In any case, you gotta have something to set the Asian apart. If they entered and there was nothing, they might seem like normal people. But how can you make Asians as different and inhuman as possible? Why not turn them into objects, like these anonymous, undifferentiated Asians, dutifully serving as props and backgrounds for the main event? Or like these cute kitchen tools. They come in funny monkey and rabbit shapes, but also Asians, because Asians are just things. But if you absolutely must let the Asians talk, you gotta at least make them wacky, like in this KFC commercial.
Right, grilled! Grilled chicken!
Kentucky Grilled Chicken.
Kentucky Grilled Chicken. I like the sound of that. I may have spoken too soon.
If you think KFC's all about fried chicken, it's time.
And now, next up is another tried and true strategy you see from time to time at the movies.
How to make a movie. The age shift. Alright, so you want to make an age shift movie. Now, this might be a switcheroo movie where two people trade bodies, or it could just be a sudden change in age, young to older, old to young. Either way, you start with one small problem. How do you get your character age shifted? Well, one useful piece of info, people who aren't white are magic. You could get a potion from a Native American, as in like father like son, but more likely, it's an Asian. Vice versa, magical Asian with magic skull. Freaky Friday, magic fortune cookie. Because Asians are confusing to the white mind.
And then Pepe's crazy mother pointing at me and pointing at you?
Yeah, and what was she mumbling about in Chinese?
She did something. Some strange Asian voodoo.
Because it's true. Asians always have mystical secrets, Like, the men will have mysterious kung fu powers.
First wash all the car, then wax. Wax.
Wait, what do I have to wash all the car?
Remember, dear, no question.
While the women
have
have,
you ever wondered why it's so hard to tell
secrets.
how old most Oriental women are? Since ancient times, we've had a beauty secret, just recently introduced to the Western world. Our secret is called pearl cream.
But if your Asian doesn't have any secrets, just make them goofy.
She bathes!
Goofy.
Oh, baby, when she moves, she moves!
Class landing!
Short round. Step on it.
Okie dokie, Dr. Jones, hold on to your potatoes!
Now, if it's a lady Asian, you have two options. If it's Lucy Liu, you make her ridiculously sexy.
Only one way to find out.
Perfect. Smart, simple, and logical.
But if it's not Lucy Liu, make her voiceless. Of Of course, it's also perfectly acceptable to sub in a white guy for the Asian. You know, the most famous case is The Good Earth, but there's also The Seven Faces of Dr. Lau.
You're a very bad cricket.
There's Breakfast at Tiffany's. And more recently, there's Dragon Ball and Avatar: The Last Airbender.
You return.
In any event, do not do what Pixar did in Up. The producers said the main character is Chinese American, but there were no gongs or weird clothes at all in that movie. Having someone be Chinese but not going on and on about it, lame. And if you must have an Asian character go against the stereotypes, like in Glee, at least make sure you don't put them on the cover with a white cast.